Hi, I am Bogdan, the owner of DNN Sharp and a DNN MVP. Today, I want to show you why every single website out there should be using URL adapter. And the reason is very simple. URL adapter increases performances by 20% just instantly, just out of the box. And to prove this point, we will do some load testing today on top of this DNN 7.3.4 clean instance, which I have in front of me and on which I've already installed URL adapter, but is currently not enabled. So we are going to perform some tests without URL adapter first, and then some tests with URL adapter, and then compare the two results sets. And what I have here is a Visual Studio project, a test project with that simply loads the web page, and I will make this test run for 2 minutes, take snapshots every 15 seconds, and it has a constant load of 50 users, and it's a constant load, no variety here. But I will stop this recording while doing the test, because this recording software will take up a lot of CPU, which could make the test irrelevant. So I'm pausing and I will come back with the results. Okay folks, we got the test results back. Looks like we've been able to run 70 pages per second, which is actually not bad at all, but I have a really strong machine here. Before going to the next test, I want to show you some interesting aspects that we've noticed in production environment, but here it's illustrated more clearly. It's a bit unrelated to this. So notice the red line in this key indicators graph. This is actually the pages per second, and notice how it degrades over time. Yes, and this is what we notice in production, that DNN would degrade performances during time, and usually we set our websites to recycle every now and then to fix this. Yes, but this is illustrated clearly here. Notice how we started around 80 pages per second and it just decreases to around 60 pages per second. Okay. So now we'll continue with the second test. So what I will do, I will enable URL adapter and restart the test. Again, I will pause this recording while that happens. So here it is, the second set of results, and this time we got 94 pages per second. Note that I had to let it cool down a bit because these tests are very intensive. They take up 100% CPU, and then the second test would not be relevant because the system would shut down some of the CPU power. But wait for a few minutes for everything to cool down, and then when I run the test I get these nice results here. 94 results, 94 pages per second. And now let's do this Excel report here and compare them side by side. Okay, so we create a report, a comparison. Okay, and we are going to take the two most recent tests, these two. Okay, so let's look a bit at this test. We have the baseline, which was the initial test without URL adapter, and then we got the comparison run, which is the URL adapter enabled test. And if we look at the comparison, you can see a 24% increase in performances. Yes, so let's look at some the page response time. We got down from 0.65 67 seconds to 0.51 seconds, so it's a 24 increase. I don't think these are too relevant, the CPU and memory, because I expect they will be about the same. Although it appears the comparison has a bit less memory, I don't think this is relevant. What is relevant is this page time and pages per seconds, request per seconds. Yes. So I think this makes the point of what you get out of URL adapter besides the functionalities, like you have a URL rewriter with capabilities to create your own URLs, or to define how the URLs that come from DNN are built. So you have a lot of customization power here, and then you can associate new URLs with pages. So for the home page, I could add new URLs and so on, with different levels of business rules. And then you can also add advanced rules, which are a bit like regex, and that is to match a class of URLs and either rewrite it or redirect it to a different URL. So these are all the powerful functionalities that URL adapter brings, and besides that, you see how one big advantage is the performance, and in this test we got 24% increase. So I think that this is it for today. Thank you very much for your time, and if you have any questions, make sure to go to dnnsharp.com/support and engage us on our forums.